What do you think the happiest jobs of 2023 are? If you were to guess, the happiest places of employment, happiest occupations that people can have.
I can think of where that's not happy.
According to the expert, what's not happy?
I don't know. It just seems like fast food. Things are always happening there.
Service industry jobs?
Service industry. Seems like a lot of bad things happen at, through TSA or at the airports. Seems like a lot of aggression in those places. So I'm going to say those are not on the list.
I'm going to start at number 5.
The happiest jobs probably have to do with the least interaction with people.
Okay.
Well, you know what? You would be wrong.
Really?
You would be absolutely flat out wrong.
Because I hate them.
This guy tastes a beer taster or something?
Number 5, a quality assurance analyst.
What is that?
What kind of made-up job is that?
A QA analyst.
Who has that job?
This job is forecasted for extreme growth. The positions often favor those with data analytics degrees, but can also be obtained by someone just getting their foot in the door. A quality assurance analyst tests products and systems to make sure they meet the company's standards.
Sound like nitpickers. They should call it nitpickers.
Test plans, cases, scripts to ensure accuracy. Let's say, let me pick a product. Weather tech.
Yeah.
So like a quality assurance analyst, I guess they're going to make sure that the floor mats are totally able to fit the Kia Sorento.
Sounds like they think they're perfect.
Speaking of WeatherTech, they had a great Super Bowl commercial.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, we have some WeatherTechs. I've got the WeatherTech dog bowls.
They got a great weather.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
I don't have WeatherTech mats in my car, but I've got the WeatherTech water bowls. Dogs love them.
They have a cool racetrack, too.
What do you mean?
WeatherTech racetrack. A professional racetrack.
Where's that?
I have actually won on. I don't know.
Oh,
like
you
a
mean in a
fake
video
track?
game?
Yes, it's a video game.
Okay.
All right, number 4. These are the
Trio.
best jobs of 2023. Number 4 is a TA.
Teacher's assistant?
Teaching assistant. Yep. Teaching assistants are responsible for many of the same duties as teachers. Often the primary path to becoming a teacher. A TA or aide supports a teacher with supervising classroom activities. Listen, Chloe in college, you deal with TAs all the time.
Oh, aren't they really obnoxious?
No, Chloe's had some great TAs.
I'm the TA, all right. You know what? I'll make you fail. I grade your papers. I had one that was a real douche.
Where was this?
USF. He was a real smug ass. I remember his name was Addison, too.
Oh, his first name was Addison?
Yeah, a real douchey name.
That's a pretentious name.
Yeah.
My name is Addison.
My name's Addison, and I'm your TA, so you're going to listen to me.
I'm from Wisconsin. Guess what city I'm from?
He's a douche.
Madison.
Addison from Madison.
Addison from Madison.
Sorry to say that so many times.
So where do you think? What was his? Do you know his last name?
No, I'm not going to say his last name.
Where's Addison?
Who knows?
How many folks are named Addison? I don't think it's a very common name.
It was a little short, dude.
And you think he's still in town?
God, I hope not. I hope he got hit by a car.
Oh, you stop it.
He was a real jerk.
Right, so teaching assistant is the number 4 happiest job of 2023. Number 3, not far from a TA. What would it be?
Principal.
No, the teacher.
Oh, come on.
How about you talk to a teacher?
Yeah, you can't take 2 slots.
Listen, a teacher's assistant is something different than the teacher, and I've heard a lot of teachers complain lately.
They deserve to get so much more money, first of all.
I think a lot of teachers are rewarded by the work, but hate the pay and politics.
And then they grow to hate the students. Because No, I mean, it's true. Because you stay in teaching long enough, and then you're like, 10 years ago, the kids weren't this bad. But that's good to hear, but I bet you they're just interviewing new teachers.
I went back to see my high school. This would have been like 2005, maybe 2004. I went to see my old high school, and we were, for whatever reason, we were up in Virginia Beach, and this was during an actual school day, and I can't remember why we were up there, but I went to my old high school, which was F.W. Cox, Frank W. Cox High School on Great Neck Road in Virginia Beach, and I popped in, and there were actually 2 teachers still there from my time. I graduated in 84. I showed up there like in 2004. So that would have been, what, 20 years later?
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years later.
teachers, too.
And two of the teachers, Mr. Malarniano was still there. He was an English teacher, and I didn't have him for English. He was also the head of the school, and he was the school newspaper coordinator.
Like the editor?
Well, no, he wasn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, he ran the school newspaper with the students. So I took I had a
class,
journalism. Exactly. Thank you. I had and this guy was an accomplished. He was a journalist. He worked for one of the local newspapers. Then became a teacher. He was a cool guy. I really liked this guy.
Was he like, Todd, I didn't think you'd amount to anything.
Look him up. Look up. See if Mr. Malarniano
You're going to have to help me with that.
is still Malarney. MULL
AR.
Malarney NEY and then Yano hyphen or space YANO. He was a good teacher.
What kind of teacher?
James?
Yeah, that's it. James Malarney Yano.
A self-employed artist.
From, I guess he quit teaching.
Self-employed artist.
He's coming up on Google. I thought he was great, and he got in trouble. Actually, I think they removed him from school newspaper because I wrote a story about how the school was violating.
Oh my God!
I did. It was front page. He loved the story. They closed like half of the bathrooms in my high school so they could monitor the bathrooms. They closed, and I found out, according to like city code, for the number of students, there were not enough bathrooms that were opened. I wrote a whole story, which was front page of the newspaper at school, about how the administration was violating city code. And my God, I pissed off.
Oh my God, are you dumb?
I pissed off the administration. I remember Mr. Shackelford. He was the assistant principal. And Mr. Shackelford, in the lunchroom, he said, "You're being a little, what did he say? Oh, you're being a bit melodramatic, aren't you, Mr. Schnitt?" That was Mr. Snot. And my dad ran, I'm sorry, Mr. Shackelford. So,
What was the next story? Mr. Shackelford is a drunk?
No. So my dad runs into Mr. Shackelford years later. And Mr. Shackelford said to my dad, how's Todd doing? Oh, he's a successful radio broadcaster. And he said, well, always thought that he'd either be very successful or he'd end up in jail. That's what he said to my dad. There was no way I was going to end up in jail.
You know who says that? Like everybody in jail.
Hey, a good friend of mine and a kid that lived like 3 doors down. He was busted on like federal fraud charges. And he actually did federal time for like some kind of like loan fraud. Yeah.
I went to high school with a kid who murdered somebody.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's
At
easy
Tampa
fact.
Catholic, a kid murdered someone?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't turn into a good Catholic, did he?
No.
Oh.
It was after he went
Where
there.
was I? Okay, so
history. He was a great Catholic. You know what I mean?
and then so I went back to school in 2004, and 2 teachers were there, Mr. Malarniano, and then my English teacher was Mr. Snodgrass.
Snodgrass.
And he was great. He
Yeah.
was a good
Is
teacher.
he British?
No,
you know what?
It's actually a common last name.
I went back in 2004. I'm like, Mr. Snodgrass, I left my Blotto album here.
Oh, God.
I did.
He still had it.
No. He looked in his cabinet and he had stuff going back decades, but my album was gone. No, seriously, I left my from 84. Because I had him for senior English. I had a Blotto album, and Blotto was the band that sang "I Want to Be a Lifeguard." Remember? I want to be a lifeguard. Help, 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 help. He didn't have it.
Boy, I'd have thrown that away too.
That was a
Blotto.
that was a big New York State song back in. Played that at summer camp like in '79. All right, number 2 on the list of the happiest jobs of 2023.
Did Roxanne just sneeze or step on a cat?
What was that?
That was like a sneeze where you try to not spit.
Oh. Yeah, I don't want
Wow.
Roxanne spit all over me.
That
All right,
was-
firefighter. So isn't your
Yes,
brother?
Yes, he's actually a chief now. So
Your brother's a fire chief?
oh yeah, he's a young chief.
When
too.
did he
He's
become
mid-
chief?
In mid-30s.
No,
Early
like,
30s.
Like how long ago?
A couple years ago.
Oh, I didn't know your brother was a chief.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
could really like say, "Hey, chief, what's up, chief?
You could.
Hey,
Hey,
Chief.
chief. Hey,
Mhm.
chief, what's
But you
going
know
on?"
what? If you talk to him, he totally misses being out in the field. Like He's
Well,
a
chiefs can go
firefighter.
in the field, can't they?
He's more of a paper pusher now. He'll tell me. I mean, he'll say that himself.
Is he Hillsborough County or
No,
what?
Pinellas
Pinellas
County.
Park.
Pinellas
Oh,
Park.
that's right. Oh, Pinellas Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Roxanne's brother is a Pinellas Park fire chief.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
He loves it.
Well,
Loved it.
according to this list, number 2, happiest jobs of 2023, firefighter. Trained rescuers, medics.
This is the crappiest list.
Why is this
No,
a great?
I totally agree with firefighter. Every firefighter I
Yeah.
met, they love going on calls. They love running into fires. They love saving people's
I
lives.
love the hotter the better.
Yes, I think all my arm hair singed right off of me.
Then Festa, you said your guess was, oh yeah, these happiest jobs probably have nothing to do with dealing with people.
Well,
they all have dealing with people. They're all and then
Firefighters don't deal with people; they deal with fires.
and
Yeah,
then
seriously.
number 1 is the most people story and occupation you can imagine.
What, a waiter?
No, you're touching people.
A masseuse.
Yeah, well, physical therapist. Number 1 happiest job, according to career experts in 2023, is a physical therapist.
Some creep touching
This
all
is
up in
the-
me.
You know,
Dumbest
I mean,
list ever.
physical therapists, wouldn't you be tired at the end of the day and just like having to bend over and stuff a lot too? I mean, that seems like it
Yeah,
could
what
wear you
about
out.
firefighters who put out burning buildings? Won't they be tired at the end
You're
of the
No,
helping
but they're
people.
also
They also
like
do ambulance
downtime.
calls.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a lot of that. You don't have
Like guards.
you don't have 4 alarm fires every day, Fester.
And then a lot of firemen I know do a lot of like they're captains. They go fishing.
I remember
they-
that big fireman scam where one of them like sold all his sick time and had like 3 years off in a row.
Nice.
Yeah, listen. Hey, thanks, heroes, but go to work.
Fester.
What is wrong with
Hey,
you?
I'm just saying,
Firefighters
yeah.
are very
Yeah,
important.
I called them heroes.
They're first responders.
I just rode in a fire truck on Monday,
Yeah.
and aside from my person being in distress, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, Roxanne had a friend that was taken to the hospital, and she wouldn't go unless Roxanne rode
Most
along.
awkward endorsement for fire truck rides ever.
Yeah.